Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty, where I create with paper and photos in artful ways. I have a little bit of a different video for you today. I will be making a small card project at the end where I mostly focus on ink and color theory information. But before we get to that, let's talk about why I'm doing this. I want to talk about this charity called Creative Kindness. If you've ever ordered anything from scrapbook.com, you may have heard of it because that is where this charity is held. They provide cards to various organizations and they get those cards through donations. Now, they also have expenses along with sending those cards out to organization. I'm sure there is lots and lots of shipping fees going on here. So right now, they are raising funds to help provide the needed income to get these cards out to everybody. Now, you can donate cards to this charity, or you can donate money, or you can donate both. Right now, they have a fundraiser where if you donate $35 or more, you will get a gift of a set of Crafty stash supplies. And I was very excited about this fundraiser and I ordered mine right away. Now these supplies do vary, so I want to walk you through that as I open up my package. And my package did come really fast, so I was very impressed at how on top of things they are. I should mention that when I checked on April 1st, they had about 800 of these goodie packs left as thank you gifts. I believe these gifts were donated through Hero Arts because a lot of the product seems to be Hero Arts branded. There was a little thank you card in there, and here is the little package. Now, all the packages will have the same kinds of elements, but the colors and styles of those elements will vary. So let's start off with ink cubes. All of the packages are going to come, I believe, with 3 ink cubes. There is a package of embossing powder of some kind. This one is a glittery embossing powder. I don't know if you might get just a plain glitter or something like that. I believe it's going to be embossing powder. And then you get some kind of package of sequins. Now notice a lot of these don't have formal labels on them, and that's probably how they've kept their costs down and how come these are donations from Hero Arts. There's also a package of some kind of embellishment. So I've got some pearls and bling mixed package. You will get a packet of half sheets of cardstock. Not quite sure how many sheets are in there. I didn't really count. And then you'll get 3 stamp sets. I was keeping the stamp sets a little bit of a secret because on the advertisement page, there is some goldfish or koi fish that I think are amazing, and I would have loved to have gotten those. So I was waiting to see if I got my favorite one in there. I did not. However, these ones are also really beautiful. I am loving these animals with the details of the florals as part of their makeup. And this sentiment set has a lot of sentiments that I can see using in scrapbooking as well as card making. So that works perfectly for me. So even though I didn't get the favorite goldfish, these stamp sets are amazing and I will keep them and use them a lot, I think, in my crafty stash. So again, like I said, these products will vary, but I think you get at least one sentiment set, one focal image set, and then one other set in here. I'm very satisfied with these fun things, and now let's play with them. The first thing that I did was swatch these colors because I wanted to see what they were. When I looked at these colors at first, I thought they were all reactive inks, and I don't have experience with the Hero Arts reactive inks. But when I swatched them on the orange cardstock, I realized that this particular ink cube is one of their core inks, which is not the same formulation as the reactive inks. So based on these swatches, I believe the reactive inks are actually hybrid inks with a pigment element in them, and I'll explain a little bit more about what that means as we go. I am making a background for my little animals, which I stamped with the core ink. And here's where pigment inks and dye inks differ. The pigments will show up more on colored cardstock. So I'm getting a pink, even though I'm stamping on top of an orange cardstock. But the core inks are dye-based, which dye has a translucent quality to it. So it's going to be affected by the color of paper underneath. So when I stamped that blue, I believe it's called Arctic, or maybe it's called Glacier, when I stamped that minty blue ink on white, you could see the minty blue color. But when I stamp that on orange, it turns brown, and that is some basic color theory. As I finish up this background, let me talk about that. If you have all three primary colors mixed together, you'll get a brown or a gray color. And since that minty blue has yellow and blue in it to give that greeny minty color, and you're stamping on top of orange, which is yellow and red, so now you've got red, yellow, and blue, all three primary colors, that stamping ink being dye will blend all of those colors together and you're going to get brown. So that's why my animals up there at the top of the screen are brown. Now, pigment ink has an opacity to it, which means its color will be more true on top of other colors, and it has a sticky quality to it that takes longer to dry, which is why I'm able to add some embossing powder to that ink, and it will stick, and we will be able to emboss that background as well. So I'm using both of these ink properties as I put this card together. All right, off camera, I went ahead and heat set that, and you can see that some of that blue from that embossing powder still shows through. It's really a mix of clear, chunky crystals as well as blue embossing powder and some glitter. So here is a look at that final card, and that embossing powder really is great for background effects and not for stamping, and that's why I used it that way. I stamped and embossed with the pigment reactive inks and clear embossing powder for my sentiment and added some of those embellishments, and that finishes off the project for this time around. So I hope you will check out the Creative Kindness charity. Consider making a donation to them. There may still be some of these gifts left at the posting time of this video. And if you decide to grab yourself one of these crafty kits, I hope you enjoy creating with it. I will be back tomorrow with some DIY creative embellishments. And until then, I hope you have an artful day.